here at Late Night. We don't always have enough time to cover all of the recent news. So here with a recap is one of our writers, Amber Ruffin, in a segment we call Amber Says What?
Okay, so first of all, the World Cup is going on and everything is hilarious. These Europeans got to this country, hated it. They saw our dirty streets and were like, what? They saw our constant police presence and were like, what? But then they saw our food and were like, what? Now, you listen to me, Europeans. Yes, everything is a little filthy. Yes, our police are scary, but one thing you can't beat us at is food. These people were out here losing their minds at some dang Chili's. Wait till you get to the Cheesecake Factory. You're gonna wanna move here. Now, will you live as long? No. But why would you want to? Everything's filthy, police everywhere. You might as well drink a gallon of Coke with your king-size pizza burger. It's the American way. Then I heard Zendaya and Tom Holland secretly got married, and I was like, what? And that wasn't the only celebrity wedding. Am I right, Seth? Seth, look at me. Were you at that wedding? Seth, if you were there legally, you have to tell me about it. Were you the ring bearer? The flower girl? The person who stands up and objects? Will you tell me about the wedding off camera? Why not? I'm only gonna tell everybody I know instantly. Then Trump had the reflecting pool in D.C. repainted, and I was like, what? Then I heard the painting company charged way too much money, and I was like, what? Then the paint started peeling and the water turned green, and I was like, what? Let me get this straight. You hired people, overpaid them, and they did a bad job. Who did you get? You? A dating platform for anti-vaxxers called Unjected. I was like, what are you trying to do? Get literally ghosted? I'm up into a short-term relationship or a long-term relationship cut short by smallpox. Then people online were accusing Charlize Theron of getting bad plastic surgery, and I was like, what? Then she responded by being like, bitch, I'm just aging. Sorry, her exact words were, bitch, I'm just aging. She really said it. Yeah. And I was like, what a good example of growing older gracefully, Seth.
What?
Tell me about the wedding!
No.
Then one of the most important things in the whole world happened. It's gonna take a while to explain, so I'm gonna talk double time. A million years ago on the show Hot Ones, the host, Sean Evans, had Keke Palmer on as his guest, and they had a great show. Everyone was like, what? Later, Sean Evans was on Amelia de Moldenberg's show, Chicken Shop Date, and she goes, have you ever had a crush on a guest? And he goes, yes. And she goes, who? And he goes, Keke Palmer. And the whole internet was like, what? So then Keke Palmer goes back on Hot Ones and is like, I heard about what you said about me, so let's test it out with a kiss. And they did, and everyone was like, what? Then he was on Keke's podcast, and they flirted. And then it happened. The two were caught out together, and when Keke was asked about it, she said they are hanging out. And we were like, what? Yes! It's the greatest love story of all time. Do you know how much chemistry you have to have with someone to fall in love while both of y'all have hot sauce breath? So then I heard the Knicks won the championship, and I was like, what? What? Because when I say I heard it, I mean I heard it. I was not there. I was not at a watch party. I was in my home, and the noise it made me get up out of bed. People were cheering so loud, I thought Barack Obama had won again. Then I heard that there's this new parasite going around called Cyclospora, and that it's giving everybody diarrhea. And I was like, what? Well, that must be what I have. Because it can't be because the enchilada is back at Taco Bell, and there's a new Taco Bell right by my place, and I keep going there whenever I leave or come home. That sweet enchilada smell grabs me by the nose like a cartoon, and I float right in and say, give me a baker's dozen. Then a couple climbed the Empire State Building and got engaged at the top, and I was like, what? You know, when people do wild stuff, then of course they got arrested. I was like, what? But then their lawyer was the single goofiest man on the planet. You gotta see this. Watch.
They're not violent people whatsoever. Now, with that being said, obviously it's a concern, right? Because it's a concern for security. So what I want to see is what evidence there is with respect to how this happened, and if and then if, you know, depending on that, really it would be great for all of New York if, you know, in the future that we could prevent these types of activities, because obviously for the national security and all those aspects.
What? That was the verbal equivalent of falling downstairs. What did you use to write that speech? Lawyer Mad Libs? Whose headphones are those? Your stepdaughter's? And is that a terrarium behind you? Are you on national TV with your lizard? Then this interview became the best thing that ever happened in the world when the reporter hit him with one of these.
Our producer, Tanya, she speaks Russian, and she was able to get a hold of Ivan's father. Ivan's dad says that they're already married and that this was just a performance.
I have not heard anything with respect to that.
What? Have you met your clients? You are so bad at this. Oh my God, this guy, Seth, was he at Taylor Swift's wedding?
No, he wasn't.
You talked about it! You talked